A very warm welcome to Reimagining the Past, Celebrating the Future. I'm Rashid Best. I'm pleased that you have joined us. In the last program, we experienced the 2023 Emancipation Day procession and learned of the planning and execution of such an important cultural event. This episode will feature a summarized presentation of the cultural performances and speeches given after the laying of wreaths at the foot of the Emancipation statue in honor of our forefathers and the public enjoyment of a maypole and landship presentation by groups from the National Cultural Foundation's Intangible Cultural Heritage Program, the Community Development Program of the Division of Youth Affairs, and of course, the Pinelands Creative Workshop. The official ceremony began with prayers and blessings being offered by members of the religious community.
We acknowledge you this day as our liberating God, who always seeks the deliverance and freedom and well-being of all people, as you did for Joseph, who was sold into slavery by his own brothers, as you did for the people of Israel who suffered at the hands of the Egyptians and later were held in captivity in Babylon, and as you have done for our ancestors who suffered through the horrors of the transatlantic slave trade and the pain of slavery in this nation and many other Caribbean nations. We thank you for being our God who transforms the evil intentions of humanity to enable a greater good. And we praise you this day for delivering our ancestors from their enslavement and enabling us today to be beneficiaries of their hard labor and resilience. We pray that you will continue to be our liberator from all that seeks to enslave us, be it physically, mentally, or spiritually.
Hallelujah! We've gathered from the east, the west, the north, and the south. We've gathered this morning to enjoy some word song, some drumming, to do honor to those who would have gone before us, on whose shoulders we proudly stand. We give thanks. Hallelujah! And as we continue on this journey, we're here this morning by this Emancipation statue, this Buster statue, to do the right thing by those who would have gone before us. We come from a great people. We come from a great continent. We were told there was nothing good coming out of Africa. That's what we were told, the lies. And most of us believed the lies. Africa has given us the world's greatest civilization. And we want to call some of the names.
For how can a young man cleanse his way? But by taking heed to the word of God. By taking heed to those, the elders, those who have laid a path that they may grow. For you, Jesus, you grew in stature, you grew in favor with God and with man. Oh Lord, with you in the vessel, we know that there is no failure, because it is you who give light, who give understanding, who give wisdom, as you did to Solomon, who gave understanding, and who give knowledge. We ask this morning, at this juncture, celebration. And this place of celebration, that your mighty hand will raise up the youth.
The first address of the morning to the assembled Barbadians and diplomats was delivered by Special Envoy in the Office of Reparations and Economic Enfranchisement, Trevor Prescott. He reminded us of the need to protect our heritage and our freedoms.
Freedom is never absolute. We are in a transition period of where we can consummate freedom. And therefore, we have been through many different phases of the liberation struggle. And black people, look around you. Look around you. Look around you. Tell me, what do you see? Tell me, what do you see? Who is here? I'm not talking about blackness exclusively by the pigmentation of one's skin. It's a sense of consciousness. When you talk about who you are, how you can know who you are if you never read a text in history yet, especially about yourself. So you don't know greatness. You don't understand when we invite you here and we take the responsibility for coordinating this event. It is your evening. It is your freedom. So when we come here and we honor General Busser, when you come here in this pool, you will look to your right and you see the home of Grantley Prescott without the required signs on the house so you will know who lived there. Some people don't even know who is Grantley Prescott. And if you go to my left, you will see the home of one of the greatest Africans ever lived. A man called King Jaja. You will learn, and probably from this same podium at some point, the significance of a man like King Jaja. So in a geography of rich history, and when you come here and we talk about ancestors, and we talk about freedom, there are important symbols all around you, not just corporate Barbados. Look what our people have done for us. And it is important that you honor them. And do not betray the trust and the sacrifice that these people made to make us who we are. All I know, you will be in a cane field. And Baba John said it right. You had no access to education. Your great-great-grandparents was in the cane field. Could not wear these. Could not wear these. You had to wait for the old girl in the house, the white lady, to pass on her old dress to you. How do you not celebrate that?
Come out in the road. Come out in the road, warrior. Come out in the road, warrior. Rouse yourself for the great encounter. Come out in the road. Come out in the road, warrior. Come out in the road, warrior. Rouse yourself for the great encounter. Come out in the road. Come out in the road, warrior. Come out in the road, warrior. Band your belly but never surrender. Oh Lord, tonight is the night. Who's your friend? Don't come in the ring. Mama, oh, tonight is the night. Who's your friend? Don't come in the ring. Oh Lord, tonight is the night. Who's your friend? Don't come in the ring. Mama, oh, tonight is the night. Who's your friend? Don't come in the ring. This stick man don't know. This stick man don't know the danger. This stick man don't know the danger. This stick man don't know the enemy. This stick man don't know. This stick man don't know the danger. This stick man don't know the danger. This stick man don't know the enemy. This stick man don't know.
Tell me what you think the walk is important.
The walk is important because it is important for us to celebrate and acknowledge the contributions of our ancestors, you know, who fought, you know, who ran, who died, you know, who gave so much for us, right? I was just telling one of the people at Waterduff that this is the biggest it has been, because this is the first time or the second year that the government has really gotten involved. I've been doing this thing for about 20 years, and the most people that we've ever really had here, like 100 people or so. But even though that this is the biggest this event has ever been, it is still really disappointing, you know, for something as this, for an island that is predominantly African descendant people, you know. This would be actually the most important event and contribution to our lives, our free lives, as free as we are now. So you would think that out here would be packed.
Well, normally I try to attend it every year, right? And I think it is it should be the most celebrated event in any black man calendar, right? And I feel we're making a try at it, but it should be even bigger. To be honest here, they got a good few young people this year, more so than previous years. They got a lot of young people. I think that's a very good vibe, you know, and if you could keep that momentum, you know, especially dealing with reparations. I think a lot of the Calypso songs, she got more reparations than Betty B. They have a very good song. I think that was written by Gabby, right? You want more music like that. A lot of the music I produce for this time of the year to me is foolishness. A lot of rum drinking, I think it's bare foolishness. You know, you want more culture, you know, because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So I give thanks for the few words.
Thank you very much, sir.
Actually encourage the parents to bring their children rather than sending their children along with a leader so that they would be involved. This is an important holiday, although most of us don't pay attention to it. And I want to encourage our members to get involved in what is going on in their communities and the nation at large, and be part of these holidays and learn about the history of the individual holidays, especially this one, so that we can be better citizens of our country.
I am very interested in the history of Barbados, and it's important for my son and my godson to understand why 1816 was very important and why they, as younger generation and the future of Barbados, enjoying the freedom that they have and the privileges that they have. And there's no better way than being here in the moment as a scout and as the future men of Barbados.
Okay, what do you think about the event so far?
I love it. Because I love my culture and I love my island, I enjoyed seeing the revival of their landship and the cultural presentations and the inclusion of our boys especially.
25 years after the address to the Barbadian people by Cuban President Fidel Castro, the ambassador of Cuba to Barbados addressed the assembled company. Her Excellency reaffirmed Cuba's commitment to solidarity and cooperation with the Barbadian and Caribbean people. Barbados' ambassador to CARICOM, David Comichong, made an impassioned plea for Barbadians to reimagine the past and to give new value to our history.
Who are we, Barbadians? Who are we really as a people? You know, if you look at the entire history of this country that we call Barbados, but that our indigenous forebears called Ichiruganim, if we look at our entire history, what we see with the Barbadian people is a longing for freedom and a struggle for freedom. This was the world's very first out-and-out slave society. And as a result of that, our Barbadian ancestors suffered the most horrendous oppression and victimization. But that is not the whole story, because they responded to that victimization and oppression with the most commendable courage and dignity and resistance and resilience, and with a cultural creativity that allowed them to carve out for themselves in the slave society a meaningful and humane human existence. That is who we are. That is who we are. And if we look back on our history, and we must look back on our history, and we look back not to rewrite our history, but from the vantage point of 2023, we must look back and revalorize our history. What do I mean by revalorize? Well, the Division of Culture says reimagine our history. I prefer to say we must revalorize our history. In other words, we look back at our history and we assign a new value, a new merit to aspects of our history that might have been discarded and looked down upon in the past. For example, in the colonial society, Lord Nelson was seen as a hero, and they built a statue for him in the middle of Bridgetown. When we look back from 2023, Lord Nelson cannot be our hero. If we want a hero, we look to the 1675 Coffee Rebellion in Barbados.
Minister in the Prime Minister's office with responsibility for culture, Senator Dr. Chantal Munro Knight delivered the special address at the ceremony. She reminded Barbadians that although emancipation was achieved, the struggle for freedom and equality remains ever present in today's world.
Those men, Bassa, the 1675 rebellion that we heard about, and Coffee, that blood is a part of our legacy. It is within us. And it's that same spirit that we need now as we enter this future that we have in 2023. It is a future in which we must recognize that the fight still continues. And I know that we have a Barbados that we are proud of. We have leaders who have done us well. But there is a fight still to be had. It is for this reason that on May 1st, we, along with the Social Partnership, launched Mission Barbados. And as an important part of that Mission Barbados was the task for the enfranchisement of Black Barbadians, Black workers, because we recognize that there is still a fight and a battle to be had. That battle is also to be fought in the global arenas, because we still face an unfriendly world. Let's not fool ourselves. It has changed. The face looks a little bit different, but there is still a battle. There's still those that see us as still small, are still a people to be colonized in a different language. That is a battle. It is for this reason that our Prime Minister, this government, and others have formed solidarity in order to fight for the reform of the global financial architecture, because that is still a fight that has to be had. There is a fight in the context of the denial of reparations. That is a fight that is still to be had. If we do not have the recognition that we were done wrong, if we do not have the recognition that we were enslaved and that caused damage, then we give up. We give up. And for Barbadians, that spirit of resilience says that we must never give up. We must continue to trot on this fight, this modern day battle that we have. But we can only do that in the spirit of solidarity. And the spirit of solidarity doesn't mean that we always have to agree every single time. But what it means is that we will not let the small things divide us as a nation. That we will remember that each and every one of us together and every little thing that we do, when we put our hands to work, when we show up every day and we carve and continue to carve a little piece of this island for ourselves and for our children, that is the solidarity that we need today. It is a solidarity that we need to make sure that we pass on to our children. Because if we don't pass on that spirit, if we don't pass on that reflection, if we don't pass on those lessons, we run the risk of our children becoming again, not masters of their own destiny. That is the risk that we run.
The minister is correct. We at the CBC are continuing to fulfill our role in the preservation, promotion, and retention of Barbados' cultural heritage in this, the audio-visual format, so that the records are preserved for posterity, providing that opportunity for future generations to know what it is to be truly Barbadian. This has been Reimagining the Past, Celebrating the Future. Next week, we conclude the recap of the 2023 Emancipation Day activities with the Emancipation Roots Experience event, which was held in the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre in Queen's Park, Bridgetown. This event featured tributes to community leaders, cultural presentations, and of course, entertainment. I'm Rashid Best. Thanks for your time.